Hi there, it's me, Extreme Fever, linguist, founder of Lingua and Lingua Plus. And today I'd like to talk with you a little bit more about cognition, understanding, symbols, well, in language learning in cultures. A few years ago, I had a quite an interesting conversation with Bob Cooney. Bob Cooney is one of these futurists from West Coast in US are talking about augmented reality, virtual reality. Very fascinating stuff. And we were at conference, and there was a cocktail party, and we just got introduced and started talking, well, about languages and how we perceive the reality, what happens. Because if you speak some of Latin languages, Romance languages like English, Spanish, French, so you have certain code in writing, the way how you write, how you read, how you understand the alphabet, right? Because the alphabet, one letter, one symbol means one sound, right? And only a combination of certain letters, certain symbols, creates a meaning of a certain, let's say, object or concept. And if you speak some of more exotic languages, let's say maybe you speak Mandarin or you speak Arabic or Hindi, there, even still, like there, you start getting this different flavor in a way that you can have a look at the character or alphabet as well, like in Arabic, right, or Hindi. It's an alphabet. However, it's like a pictograph in a way. Yes, so it's written a different way, especially if you are speaking a Latin language, right, and then you're switching to exotic languages, and you're looking at it, and you try to memorize the way how well it's drawn and the way it's written, and then you try to memorize a sound, and then putting them together, you get a word. At the same time, when you look at Mandarin or one of Japanese writings, there suddenly you may get a character that would mean a word, right, or an action concept. And this is like Mandarin is called a root language, meaning an Asian language, though it was simplified in the 20th century, but still that it preserved its form when humans were painting a certain concept, and then they would give it a sound that wouldn't correspond to an alphabet, but just an entire word. And in order to write, read, understand each other, you would have to learn thousands and thousands of such characters. So we were talking with Bob Cooney about that and virtual reality, saying that, look, how it's developing, right? It's quite unclear. It was even before Meta, just to give you an idea, even before Meta, like that Mark Zuckerberg was like about to announce trying to develop Meta now. And what was peculiar that we were thinking, okay, how it would influence our communication, because if it's like augmented reality, virtual reality, so we can start showing more, like showing objects, pictures, rather than well, saying out loud a particular word, right, a concept. And then we remembered, of course, that we are right now using emojis, right? And with each year, we're using more and more of them. Emojis, GIFs, or like certain, let's say, certain symbols, right, to represent, our emotions, our reactions. And it works quite well. And some of the people, on the internet created memes that in Egypt we started, with pictures, and we ended up again with pictures. But what we were thinking that maybe those root languages, so languages where concepts were depicted in one image, and there was a particular sound for that concept, maybe those languages were more complex than we have right now an alphabet. And maybe like there was like through the history, there was simplification of languages. And it also means that our cognition And our ability to perceive the information has been also changing. And I'm not sure that it was evolving. Because if you have something so complex as, let's say, ancient Mandarin or uh, God's language or ancient Greek, ancient archaic Latin, and so on, they were much more complex languages. And what we see now as well, like when we talk with you about augmented reality, virtual reality, even just like gaming, is something sophisticated that also, well, kind of proves some of these ideas about, yeah, our cognition, how it's been changing. One of Bob Cooney's friends, unfortunately, at this very moment, I don't remember exactly the name, but it's also one of their like important tech persons. I may ask him at some point because it's a true story. So that guy has children, and one of his sons, like, yeah, so this year's, um, had problems at school, just, yeah, normal school. He had problems with school, at school, like with mathematics, just, conventional subjects. And one of the teachers was complaining, like, listen, you need to talk to your son. He needs really like to start, well, working with a tutor or somebody on the subject. And then the teacher got invited to the house, and there was quite an interesting, peculiar, let's say, situation. So this boy, was playing video games. And what was sophisticated about it, that on the screen where he was playing, and like gaming, a gaming chair, like two screens, there were symbols. Like if you play video games, I don't play anymore. I used to play like years ago. But what's interesting, yeah, that you always have lots of different symbols. There are notifications, something you're changing. And that particular game, he had symbols that were constantly changing. Just like one symbol that would be changing like 5, 6 times, like within a few seconds. And the boy, looking at the panel of all the symbols, commands, would read it instantly and continue playing and talking to his teammates and just go in there, like after the prize. And when the teacher came to visit, yeah, go at home, and he offered her actually to play together, teacher got lost. Why? Because the teacher couldn't read all of this, not just like one symbol, but all this like ever changing symbols at once. And here you can see there's already gap, and it's not just a gap in, oh yeah, like, but they are like native, the kids, they know how to use like gadgets. No, it's about the change in cognition and the ability to read information instantly from symbols. So what I am kind of like leaning to, that it seems to me that alphabetic language is so simplified that our cognition as well, like our ability to understand, like not like declined in a way, but it also got simplified. And when we start getting again to our roots in a way, to pictographs, characters, certain symbols, and especially the like ever-changing symbols, suddenly we start again evolving, like cognition starts evolving. And that's what's peculiar, because where you have Egyptian writing, yeah, like pictographs, that were just one symbol at a time, set in stone without changing. And then you have ever-changing symbols in a computer game. I feel that there is connection, and I'm also very peculiar. Like I'm very curious about all these peculiar cases, because it makes me wonder, like what is behind it. And if you have any more information or you have your thoughts for a discussion, let's start it. And I'm curious to see what you have to say. Oh, bye.